Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jamar84 here, back again from the dead apparently, because it has been over a year since we've done this. But we're not going to dawn too much on that because that's living in the past. We're here in the now. But no, I do want to try to put some of these out again. I have missed doing YouTube. And, since it is spooky season and I felt the inspiration on the way home today, I was like, let me just get on out there, put the video up while the spirit is in me. And let's just see how it goes. So, this video is like a compilation, it looks like. They're just general 21 unbelievable horror stories, so there's no specific theme to it, which I think I like better. Uh, because then it seems like I don't have to tailor it to anything. But without further ado, let's get into the bullshit.
I moved into this crappy little apartment complex a few months ago. It was this rundown 1970s looking place on the edge of the city. No elevator, weird smells in the hallway, but whatever. It was quiet, and that's all I wanted. The only unwanted part was my upstairs neighbor, Samantha. She was an older woman.
You know what? If you have nothing nice to say.
Probably in her late 50s or 60s, but she kept to herself. She never made eye contact, even when we crossed paths on the stairs. She would barely leave her apartment, and when she did, she always bundled up like she didn't want to be recognized. I thought she was just a basket case. Some nights I'd hear her pacing around for hours. She would often be heard whispering to herself, practicing lines over and over.
You know you want me. I've been so bad. You know you want me. I've been so bad.
Is she up there making OF content or something? Like, and why are your walls so thin that you can hear her this clearly? What kind of rent you paying? I hope it's under 1,000.
I know you want me. I've been so bad.
It wasn't sounding attractive, trust me. It was just sad, like she was trying to convince herself. Then, one day, I heard her landlord talking to another tenant about her, saying she's too old to do OnlyFans. It took...
Not they clocked it. You know what? I can't say that people are too old to do OnlyFans because one thing that I have learned from, having different friends and associates who do content, their motto is there is a market for everything. Okay? Take with that what you will. But just know there's a market for everything.
me a minute to connect the dots. Anyway, fast forward to last month. It was a Thursday night at around 11 p.m. I'd just gotten home from a late shift and was eating cold pizza on my couch when I heard something upstairs that didn't sound like acting. It felt like a scream that was stopped in the middle. The silence was killing me because I expected to hear more like I usually did, but nothing. Before I could ponder on it, I heard a heavy thud right above me. I waited, thinking maybe she dropped something, but my gut feeling kept telling me something wasn't right. I grabbed my phone and quietly went up to her floor. The hallway was dark and empty, but Samantha's apartment door was open, not wide, just enough that I could see her bare feet on the floor inside, and they were lying still. I pushed the door open slowly and walked in.
I know it's gonna be some bullshit. Did the lady have a heart attack? Did she get attacked? Did somebody break into her house? Did she come home drunk?
Samantha was lying on the floor in this red satin robe, her mouth opened in a scream with her eyes wide
Oh no, she got strangled to death. Oh my God.
open. There was a weird bruise on her throat, dark and fresh. I couldn't believe she was dead. It took me a minute to start dialing 911 on my keypad, and as I was doing so, I heard her toilet flush. My heart...
Oh, bitch. That means the person is still in. Okay, so wait, this person is. They have to be really sloppy because not only did you come in and kill this lady, but you left the door wide open. It doesn't seem like you were very discreet about your act. Um, I this seems personal, but let's see who's flushing this toilet, child.
Stopped. Someone was still in there. I swiftly ducked behind this crusty old couch just inside the apartment. It reeked like cheap perfume and cigarette ash, but I didn't care. I dropped to the floor and held my breath. I heard the bathroom door open, followed by heavy footsteps coming out, and then the door closing softly.
Ooh.
Whoever was in there didn't want to make much noise, but at the same time, that person had no idea of the existence of a third person. I peeked in carefully to find this pale, bald...
Oh! Jesus Christ. Why are they always horrifically ugly like this with these weird ass smiles, Lord?
man wearing a wrinkled trench coat. He began humming Elvis Presley very creepily. Wise men say... But I
Oh yeah, he's not woven too tight.
can't help you. He slowly crouched beside her body and ran his hand down her face like she...
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was about to teabag her. I ain't even gonna sit there and hold y'all. I really thought he was about to sit there and teabag that old lady, and I was about to scream.
Was still alive. You lied to me. Said you were 20. Acting like you were special. I then saw him pulling out this small blade from his coat pocket. It wasn't a kitchen knife, but rather a scalpel. The entire encounter was turning into a horror movie that I was watching live. What happened next will never let me sleep peacefully for the rest of my life. He started cutting into her arm. At first, he made clean, shallow cuts as if he were carving something. The sound of flesh getting sliced made me nauseous, but I still kept my calm. You thought you could make me want you again? Look at you. Skin sagging, makeup hiding everything. He chuckled under his breath, then said,
Is this a catfish gone wrong or something? Like, what's the tea?
I loved you when you were real, not when you became this joke. And stabbed the scalpel in her eye. I watched him pull out her eyeball like it was nothing. I just wanted to vomit. I had my phone out, recording from behind the couch with one hand, and the other was clamped over my mouth.
Okay, so how does he not see you? Y'all peripherals, my peripherals be catching a lot of stuff. Like, how does he not see you?
He kept slicing and mutilating her body while talking to her like she was still alive. You begged me to come back, remember? You said you'd do anything, and now, look, just lying there, like all the others. I was shaking so hard my phone nearly slipped out of my hand. He finally stood up and walked toward the kitchen, still humming that awful tune. I took the chance. I crawled backward like my life depended on it. I managed to slip through the door gently and I pulled it shut. Then I bolted down the stairs and called 911. I told them everything. I was choking, crying, swearing, and trying not to puke. The cops showed up in less than 5 minutes. They arrived with their guns drawn and their flashlights blazing. They went up and pulled him out screaming. He was covered in blood and was laughing maniacally. I gave them the footage. They didn't even blink, just thanked me and took it like they'd seen this sort of thing before. I later found out the guy was Samantha's avid follower from her OnlyFans. Samantha had blocked him months ago after he started sending disturbing messages. The man had a criminal record that included assault, breaking and entering, and several minor stalking charges that were not taken seriously by authorities. He'd been hiding in her apartment since earlier that day, just waiting to punish her for not being his perfect fantasy anymore. I haven't slept much since that night. I moved out the next week. Sometimes I still hear his voice in my head singing Elvis Presley while cutting up a dead body. I wonder how many other women he treated that way before Samantha. But most of all, I wondered what would have happened if I'd gone upstairs 5 minutes earlier.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Well, I'm glad that they caught that man, because, girl, see, that's why you can't be, that OF stuff, and then people be stalking you and fetishizing you. Absolutely not. I can't. Hell no.
So this happened about 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't fully shaken it off. My name's Carl. I'm 35, recently divorced, and had to move back into the city after things fell apart with my wife. I landed a job working the late night shift at a 7-Eleven in downtown LA. Not the nicest part, I'll be real with you. The area was rough and filled with addicts and thugs, but it was a job. I needed the money.
Ooh, downtown LA at night? Girl, please. Absolutely not. I stayed in LA for a couple of years. You know, the glitz and the glam that they show online, and the palm trees and the Sunset Boulevard, it's cute and all, but let's, go around on corners, go in them side streets. You'll see what LA really look like.
And I figured I could handle it. I'd worked security gigs before. I'd dealt with my fair share of drunks, addicts, and weirdos. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for what happened that night. It was a Tuesday, around 1 a.m. The store was almost empty, with one customer every 2 or 3 hours. I was restocking the gum rack behind the counter when I heard the door chime. I glanced up and saw this woman walking in. She walked in slowly.
Why is she looking at both the chips and the drink aisle at the same time? What's going on?
Lanky, maybe in her mid-40s, with greasy black hair tied in a messy bun. Her clothes hung off her like loose paper. She wore a puffy green jacket over a dirty tank top, and her jeans were soaked around the ankles like she'd been through dusty, muddy alleys. Her eyes were darting around, jittery but hollow, and she spread this reeking smell all around the store. From her appearance, it wasn't hard to guess that she belonged to the Skid Row area. She mumbled something I couldn't make out and wandered toward the snack aisle. I kept an eye on her. We got tweakers in all the time, usually harmless, sometimes loud, sometimes annoying. But this one felt off. She wasn't browsing, she was just grabbing random stuff. Candy bars, trail mix, even a frozen burrito, just shoving it all into her arms with this weird sense of urgency, like she was on a mission but didn't know why. After a few minutes, she approached the counter. She plopped the pile in front of me and started fishing through her pockets. They were empty. She looked up and muttered,
I have no money, but they're hungry too.
They? And if you ain't got no money, why the hell you walk up in here and grab all this shit?
Confused. Who are they? She pointed toward the door.
My friends. Can't let them starve.
I looked past her. There was no one outside, just the flicker of a busted street lamp and a pile of trash bags swaying in the wind. Look, I can cover one item for you if you're really hungry, but I can't give you all this for free. She didn't move, just blinked twice, very slowly, like an animatronic.
But they're hungry too.
There was a sudden shift in her voice. Look, I'm sorry. Like I said, I can give you only one thing for free. You have to pay for the rest. Her eyes twitched, and she moved her shoulder in such a way that her bones cracked.
Oh, no, ma'am. I hope you have like some sort of a security button underneath there, because ain't no way in hell. See, I could not imagine doing these like late night shifts with all these crazy drunk people, and you be in these stores more often than not by yourself. Like, how am I supposed to deal with shit like this by my... Do I have a taser? Do I have any sort of means to defend my motherfucking self?
A bad feeling rushed through me. My instincts told me something was about to happen. She suddenly dropped her jacket to the floor.
Ooh!
Jesus. Her arms were covered in rotting patches of skin that hung like wet tissue. Deep purple veins bulged out like thick worms, and there were old needle marks, hundreds of them, Some still oozed pus, but what truly messed me up was the way she smiled, like she was
Oh,
proud to show me what she'd become.
oh, girl. Oh, see, I'm telling you, this is that shit. This is that shit. What am I supposed to do? Do I have any gun? Do I have anything to help myself with this situation? Like this is why they need the plexiglass in front of all those 7-Eleven gas station stops, because ain't nobody got time for this.
I took a step back instinctively. Ma'am, I need you to leave now.
I never leave hungry.
Saying this, she started scratching, hard, frantic, nails digging so deep into her arms that skin began to peel.
Ooh, God. Ooh, ma'am.
She moaned softly, like she liked it. She scratched so fiercely that a flap of rotted skin ripped off. I'm not exaggerating. She literally tore off a strip of her own flesh, held it up like a slice of jerky, and put it in her mouth. She looked at me with this blank stare, chewing, chewing, blood dripping down her chin. The chewing didn't even sound right. It was wet and slow, like cartilage grinding between teeth. Her mouth opened a bit wider than it should have. I heard something snap in her jaw. I couldn't hold the bile rising in my throat.
You know what, bitch? All this shit, take it. Take it. It's yours. Have it. just have it. Cause what the whatever they're paying you could never be enough. It could never be enough to deal with it. Cause what? I quit.
I puked. My legs went weak. All I could say was, Jesus Christ. I grabbed the phone and called the cops. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely press the numbers. She dropped the rest of the food on the ground and began walking slowly toward the counter. Her voice turned low, not like a whisper, but like something underneath her voice was talking too.
He said they'll come in if I feed them.
I had no idea what the hell she was talking about, but I wasn't about to wait and find out. I grabbed the fire extinguisher from behind the counter just in case things got ugly. Right as I reached the register, I heard sirens outside. She stopped. Her head twitched violently to the side like a broken doll. She looked at the door, then back at me, then
Ooh.
let out this guttural, animalistic growl.
Girl, what? And why is the police not in here yet? Y'all is too slow. This lady, and I'm actually surprised she just hasn't reached across the counter to strangle him yet. I ain't gonna hope. That's really what I'm just waiting for at this point.
She dropped to her knees and started slapping herself. When the cops came in, she was still hitting herself, screaming and laughing at the same time. They had to restrain her to take her away. She fought like a rabid dog the whole time, screaming about the hungry ones in the dark and how she fed them enough to last the night. They sedated her and took her to a hospital. Later that morning, a cop came back to take my statement. He said she was likely in the middle of a severe drug-induced psychosis. They ran her prints and found out she'd been arrested before, years ago, for trying to bite a woman's face in a soup kitchen bathroom. But this was the worst episode they'd seen. She's currently in a psychiatric ward. Ever since that night, I've been locking the store doors at midnight and only serving through the glass window. I don't care what corporate says. I'm not putting myself in that situation again.
Because absolutely not. Like, girl. Ooh, child. I'm not a graveyard shift girly. I believe in doing my job during the daylight. um, yeah. I you can't pay these people enough to deal with that kind of stuff. God, I'm so thankful that I am not in a position to have to do that. But I just want to get this video out, you guys. It was a quick little one too. I should have another one. I'm about to do another one right now, back to back, and I should have that out by what's today? Tuesday. I mean, we'll put it like Friday morning maybe if I get it done in time. So yeah, look out for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.